There's just so many natural ways. I've tried many times to, do like fun math workbooks and stuff like that, but it just never really works well for us.
So I want to talk about summertime because summertime is fun and hot and sweaty and full of activities and also can sometimes be full of boredom because we don't have our regular structured schedule. We're not necessarily doing any curriculum, though some do, but I would say the majority of people don't because most kids don't. And so their kids want to be out playing and doing the same things that other kids do. So, what are some fun ways that we can learn during the summertime with our kids?
I think there's just so many natural ways. I've tried many times to, do like fun math workbooks and stuff like that, but it just never really works well for us. Some
Yeah.
people do school all the way through summer. We're just not that kind of people. I think partly because we live in Minnesota and we have to be outside in the summertime. And
Yeah.
so I really think that there are so many amazing things to learn just naturally spending time outside with your kids, nature walks. I mean, just going on walks, and you could write in a journal what you guys see or not. You can also take this time to have if you have a high schooler like we do, this is a good time for them to read some of those 2,000 books that every high schooler must read before they graduate high school kind of
Right.
things, and read off of those lists. I always love looking through those lists and putting some of those in my kids' summer fun basket. Um, so those are really good ways to make good use of the time, and uh, also just time to play, especially if you have those little ones still. Just playing outside. There's so many things that they can learn by just giving them, going to Goodwill or the thrift store and giving them a bunch of old pots and pans that are cheap, and letting them play. And like we took a pallet, I think it was free, a pallet that or maybe two of them, and we cut them up to make this mud kitchen for my youngest, and that sits outside on the back. Kind of, we have this back patio that we don't really use, and so she spends hours out there just making whatever for dinner out
Yeah.
of mud and rocks and gravel and whatever. But those are really fun ways. And also, if you have, I love using games in my
Mm.
homeschool, but
Yep.
sometimes, like you're saying with the co-ops and things like that,
Yeah.
your days can get really full really fast. So sometimes we have good intentions with those fun extras, but that's a great time. Summer is a great time to pull out some of those sequence games, or we have these maps that have these pins with them, and those are fun to just sit on the counter or the table. And when the kids wake up in the morning, they always gravitate towards stuff like that. If you kind of keep it moving and keep it fresh, so it doesn't just become white noise sitting there.
Right.
It's just a fun way to pull out those things that you had good intentions of buying and using for school during the school year, but a lot of times the curriculum takes over and the schedule takes over. So games, books, nature, play,
Yeah.
all kinds of that just natural learning.
Yeah. Yeah. You talk about just putting those things out. When we present things to our kids sometimes and say, here, do
Mhm.
this, they're like, oh, I don't really want to do that. But when they're just out for them to do, I think it's more like, okay, oh, now it's my idea and I want to do this. And so, of course, games are easy and kids always will gravitate towards games because they're fun. And we have done an episode on game schooling. We'll link that in the show notes as well. If you've not heard that one, it is so good for kids to play games because it develops so many things. It's brain development, it's character development. I mean, it's logic development. It's so many different things, and so games are really, really good and important for kids. Puzzles are
Mm.
huge. I mean, throw a puzzle out on the table and let your kids spend several days putting a big puzzle together. It could be a 500-piece puzzle or a 1,000-piece puzzle, depending on their ages and their ability. But yeah, there are so many things that we can do with our kids so that they are just presented with an opportunity to continue learning without feeling like they're actually learning because they're not sitting down and doing a book. I'm like you. we've tried before to actually do curriculum in the summertime. And my girls are like, no, like all of our friends are out of school and we just want to play and do fun things. And so, yeah, it's a great opportunity to still continue to learn. Homeschool Insights is sponsored by CTC Math. If you're looking for a great online math program, visit ctcmath.com and try it for free. For more great homeschool inspiration and resources, listen to the Schoolhouse Rocked podcast every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.